Hey everybody, welcome to episode 115 of Film Banter. As you can guess, we are going to be covering Avengers Endgame tonight exclusively. That's all we're talking about. The big, huge movie, global box office, over $1.3 billion, which is crazy, and counting. But first, I just want to introduce to you a very special guest that's going to help us tonight.
Hi, it's me, Michael Jackson.
What are you doing here? You're not an Avenger.
I'm doing here? Well, I just wanted to thank all you little Avengers out there who are saying wonderful, nice things about me after that horrible documentary HBO put on about Neverland.
Oh, I mean leaving Neverland. Oh.
That's right. Me accosting all them little boys. I think that's just horrible that anybody would accuse me of doing such horrible things to little boys.
Well, I gotta say, it's despicable, but I gotta say, you have the most loyal following of defenders on the internet. These trolls are attacking anybody who has anything negative to say about you.
I love all you Avengers, and if you just happen to be under the age of 14 and male, I want you to contact me at Michael Jackson, the Pearly Gates, Heaven. That's right, I'm in heaven. Some of you don't think I am, but I am in heaven.
Aren't you pushing it a little bit, buddy?
Oh, I am in heaven.
Okay.
Well, wait a minute. It's awful hot down here. Oh, shit,
I think you should get out of here, you know. Hey, we're back, everybody. So we're officially going to start the show here. I want to thank Mr. Jackson for swinging by. That was a little weird. But I'm happy that Daryl is actually going to be here tonight to help me out officially. How you doing, buddy?
Would you like to play a game?
Oh, my goodness. You look good. Did you have some work done or what?
I did.
Oh, you look beautiful.
Thank you so much.
You look so cheerful.
I am cheerful.
Oh, very nice.
All right, let me.
Yeah, put your shield down so we can start the conversation.
Let me put my shield down.
And you, okay. Put your glasses on, too?
Those are my panty shields, by the way.
Oh, my goodness. Extreme protection.
That's right. I know. It's so good to be here, everybody. It's just me.
It's just you.
So there you go.
Very
Well,
nice
all
to see
right.
you, sir.
It's good to be back.
Another
We're doing
show?
another show, another incredibly brilliant episode of Film Banter, where we banter about film, we talk about things. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce little
Mr.
Louis.
Louis, reintroduction.
Louis. That's right.
He loves his daddy.
Oh, he does love his daddy.
He loves you.
He really does.
But so for tonight we are going to be discussing
We're going to be discussing
the Avengers
Endgame.
Endgame.
First, we're going to do about 10 minutes or so on a non-sequitur bit of, we are mentioning no spoilers
Yes,
whatsoever.
we're just going to talk about how we felt about the film.
Precise. And then the second part of the
we are going to
review,
get into.
we are going to get into all the specifics of all
A
the
little spoiler
dynamics
territory.
of all
Believe me.
spoiler territory, because we know that 1.3 billion of you in this planet Earth have seen this film. So we're very interested.
Well, not that many people.
No, that's how many people. Well, no.
No, but that's how
No, that's how many dollars
No,
they
because
made.
each ticket is anywhere from $12 to $20.
I'll bet you right
premium
now,
screenings.
by the way, I'll bet you that AMC is really regretting their A-list right now, because they lost a ton of money
I'm sure they did.
on that whole thing, didn't they?
Well, it is what it is.
Oh, it is what it is.
Well, those rates are going up anyway.
Yes.
But yeah, so folks, like we were saying, we're going to cover the film a little bit, just a brief conversation, how we felt. We're going to give you warning, because then we're going to go and cover things specifically.
We shall have spoilers.
You'll have ample time to turn this off
Ample time.
if you haven't seen it.
If you have not seen the film,
Exactly.
this might be the time for you to run for
Not quite yet.
run for your attic, run for your basement, hide,
You'll be
hide yourselves,
forewarned.
get away from the cinema, get away from the video,
Fly
turn off
out of
YouTube.
here.
I'm sorry, what?
Nothing. I pulled the fly out and I showed it to the audience. You got a little fly in
Oh,
your
I was
table.
going to pull my fly out, too.
Please keep your fly covered.
I certainly will.
So let's
All
begin.
right.
Might as well begin. Might as well.
Might as well begin to begin.
We have here
We do
just
indeed.
an incredible conclusion to the Avengers saga here.
It is.
To the first, let's say, 11 years of
That's right, I'm
Avengers
back,
films, of Marvel films, I should say.
Yes, indeed.
This is the direct follow-up to Infinity War, which ended on a very down note.
I
Half the
would
world's
say.
population.
And this film ends on a very down note too.
It kind of does a little bit.
Yeah.
But this is, a reunion of types of for a lot of the characters that we haven't seen. Like, we didn't see Hawkeye in the last one. He was not in Infinity War.
Was he not?
He was not in Infinity War.
I thought he was towards the end in
Nope.
the final big battle.
He was not there. No, he was not there.
Was he not?
No, because they touch on that in this film and they a little bit give you an idea of where he was. But I'm going to say right off the bat, I thought this movie was sensational. I loved it. I thought it was a lot of fun. I thought it was a great conclusion to these Avengers films that we've seen, at least with this current cast.
Yes.
I laughed. I had some tears in my eyes.
Did you
It was
cry?
exciting.
Yes.
I just had a blast watching it. I thought the 3 hours flew.
They really did fly by.
I was not bored for a second.
I really very rarely looked at my watch.
It
I
was
must be honest. I
really
was,
something special. These
Very.
guys.
It really just unfolded, and
Yeah.
it was very intimate.
Yeah.
We had very sincere moments of just pure one-on-one dialogue, which
Yeah.
we don't normally get in big blockbuster movies.
No.
You know, it's always fast-paced. They're just worried about cut. Or is the audience bored yet? No, this film really just got into the real basics. In fact, I say this with pure love in my heart that I could have cut a good half hour of little scenes. I think there was a little too much with Hawkeye at the beginning and with the family. That went on for 15 minutes.
That was 5 minutes.
Well,
It wasn't a lot.
It seemed like
No.
Are you sure it wasn't more like half an hour?
It wasn't. Yeah, it was
No,
right.
maybe it was just a few
This
minutes.
all happened before the title of the film came out.
I realized that.
It was like 5
yeah,
minutes.
Well, it might have been 5-6 minutes, but I mean, there's 5 minutes.
So that felt long
Did
for
we
you.
really need that? We
Well,
did, though. Here's
Because
what
we
I'm
didn't
about to
see
say.
him in the last film.
stop.
That's why they did that
Let
to
me
us.
speak my
Please
piece.
do.
Let me smoke a peace pipe here.
Please do.
But the truth is, I wouldn't cut a minute out of this film. I really
No.
did love it.
Me too.
I'm going to say this, though. I did read a review by somebody. I didn't go into any spoilers or anything like that. But there was the person gave the film 3 stars. Didn't give it 4. Loved the film. I understand why that happened. It was an uneven film. I think there was a lot of slow building just to get to it. It's a 3-hour epic film, but I think I was disappointed in some of the ending choices that were made. But we'll discuss that in the spoiler segment. But I walked out of the theater. I didn't feel very moved. And usually I'm very emotional about
you
any
are.
characters.
Yeah,
I
I
cry like a fool, but I don't know, for some reason I felt detached a little bit.
Interesting. Okay.
I did, but I still loved it. As I'm watching it, I kept saying to myself, "Do I want to see this again?" Because that's always something that plays in my head.
I do.
And,
I know I want to see it again.
I do want to see it again, absolutely, because we miss little intricacies here.
I
and
watched
there.
Infinity War again before seeing this.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen that
No,
one
that was a
since
good
the
idea.
theater.
That was a very good
and
idea.
I'm glad that I did because it really
Yeah.
refreshed me a little bit.
Absolutely.
I know you've seen it 3 times, right?
I've seen it 3 times, and I also just watched all the Captain America films. And Captain America,
They're so good.
the
Winter
Civil
Soldier,
War
Civil
movie,
War.
that's practically an Avengers film.
Yeah, it's got
It's got everybody in it. Captain America's, there's big, vast segments where he's
Yeah.
not even in the film. We have a whole thing between Robert Downey and Spider-Man.
Yes,
and,
yes.
And there's just other
Well,
characters.
that was the reintroduction of Spider-Man into the Marvel Universe. And
Correct.
they brought him into that,
Correct.
and then
Correct.
he got his own movie after
Absolutely
that. Yeah.
true. And also we had the love affair between Scarlett Johansson and the Hulk.
Oh, that's
and,
right, Bruce Banner. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was something to behold.
I agree. I really enjoyed all 3 of those Captain America.
They're
films.
great. They're really great.
I
We
know.
love the first. We discussed.
First
that,
one
I
is
believe.
definitely
Didn't we discuss
the
that
best.
last week?
We did last
We
week.
did,
If
yeah.
you haven't watched last week's show, the whole show was the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah.
We covered a little bit of all of it. Definitely check that out if you haven't seen it.
And if you haven't seen last week's show, we don't blame you, because nobody else is watching it either. So if you don't want to
bad.
watch the show,
Hey, it's their loss.
it is your loss, ladies and gentlemen. I wish you'd get out there and watch those shows, because they really are. We really,
We
we
do a
love
great
movies.
job.
Damn it, we just talk over each other all the time, and that's
Not all the time, but
that's all the
sometimes.
time. I think we always
See?
always the.
Shut up.
But
But I gotta say, this made me. I missed the shot, but I enjoyed that Rocket the Well, he's not really a raccoon, but whatever he is.
No, he's a raccoon.
Well, they keep saying, well, he's not a raccoon.
But he is a raccoon.
He is technically.
He's a raccoon.
But anyway, I enjoyed that he had a lot to do in this movie. I thought he had a good presence.
He was always.
And Bradley does a great job.
He's always the comic foil. You know, whenever a scene gets too serious.
Yeah.
He's there.
He's great.
And I like that we had the guy, the Rock Man, once again. From Thor, Ragnarok.
Ragnarok, voiced by the director Taiki Waititi.
I know.
He comes back and does the voice again. That was great.
That sounds like some sort of pornography that
Taika
they would
Waititi.
show in Africa.
Yeah.
But there he is.
Or Taika Waititi is another word for going to take a pee. Taika Waititi.
Yeah. That's what they did on Donald Trump in Russia, you know.
Yeah, Taika Waititi.
They took a Waititi on him.
But
here he is, Bradley
Rocket
Cooper.
himself.
Doesn't even sound like Bradley, but...
You know who does the motion capture is Sean Gunn, James Gunn's brother. Because Bradley just does the voice. As does Vin Diesel. No, but they weren't on set in the whole get-up doing the motion capture. They had another actor doing that.
Oh, I see.
That's what I mean.
Interesting.
Just like Vin Diesel only comes in and does the voice.
Just does the voice. But he said it like 3,000 times, he said.
In many different languages.
I am Groot.
I am Groot.
Obviously.
That's got to be tiring.
Yeah, I would think
he earns his money, you know.
I guess so, does he?
But this is just a great-looking movie.
It's a beautiful film.
Great-looking films.
Yeah, it really is.
And I gotta say, these Russo brothers who did the last one, they did this one, and the last two Captain Americas really outdid themselves. This is really a job.
This is
to keep this train moving, organized, all this characters and plot, and
that is the
really impressive. They did a great job. These guys have solidified their career. They're set.
Didn't you think for sure that this was Doctor Strange?
No,
when they went to
not
Tokyo?
even for a second.
Well, they kind of were in...
No, because Doctor Strange disappeared like everybody else as Ash in the last film.
Okay.
So I knew it wasn't going to be him.
Okay, yeah, but I mean, everybody is now reappearing kind of thing.
But this was way before that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I would like to mention Thor in this film is quite hilarious.
Yeah, we see a side of Thor we haven't seen before, and I'm not ruining anything. Wait till later. We'll discuss that at the back end of the show. Very funny.
Well, the film, I will say this. The film advances very briefly.
Yeah.
Not briefly, but fairly briefly into the film, I'd say maybe 45 minutes or so. Suddenly we're 5 years in the future.
Yeah, that surprised me at first.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I was rather surprised that we...
Yeah, I think it even happened quicker than I think probably a half hour.
Oh, no.
I think so.
I'd
35 minutes maybe?
It's a 3-hour film, man. Yeah, I think they set up all the characters and a lot of interaction, a lot of banter.
Well, the 5 years, that's about where that's the second act that comes in. So maybe about 40 minutes.
No, not quite. It's more than the second act. I mean, the second act is kind of the second hour, more or less, if you want to get specific. That's it's the second act kind of begins when they start planning a time... relevant thing, and I don't want to get into.
Yeah, we're not going to get into too much
spoilers,
about that.
But let's talk about our actors. Our actresses here. We got Chris once again. We've got
Scarlett Johansson
doing a brilliant job. I mean, everybody's
Mark Ruffalo.
So we got
Chris Hemsworth. Everybody. They're all excellent.
I just read today Mark Ruffalo. He's all ready to do the next one.
Of course he is.
He just and for him, it's just the party aspect. He just likes to be with all these people.
How could you not?
He likes hanging out with them and just having fun.
Chris Pratt put on his Instagram recently. He wasn't allowed to release it back when they were filming, but now the movie's out.
Right.
It's a behind-the-scenes shot that he did on his cell phone. It's just everybody hanging out in the green screen studio.
Oh, wow.
Very minor set. Everything else is green screen, and everybody's there. He goes, I just want you. He's like, I'm so happy to be here. You have no idea what it's like to be around all these amazing actors. He goes, just look at who's around me.
Yeah.
And he pans. You see, you got Don Cheadle, then you got Scarlett, you got this person, you got Benedict, you got Chris Pine. Everybody is in this one big scene.
I'll bet it was the funeral. Might have been the funeral scene.
No, it was it was one of the action scenes. Okay. Must have been, yeah.
All right.
Because people were in their action getup. Nobody was formally dressed.
Yeah, okay.
But it was just amazing to just see, like, wow, the amount of big talent that's in this one scene is really impressive.
I love that they go back and they pull people out of the old film. Tilda Swinton comes out.
Yeah, this film. Yeah, all the other films inform this one. They're all
little Natalie Portman segment. Oh, that was probably extra footage they had.
Could have been extra footage.
But I mean, they just pulled everybody out of the woodwork and just made a hodgepodge of brilliance. I just saw
Josh Brolin.
Josh Brolin was on Jimmy Kimmel last night, and he just had a daughter. She's 5 months old. has a new wife and baby here. So I don't
That's
know.
right, he got remarried, yeah.
On Jimmy Kimmel. I don't know if you know who Guillermo is.
Yeah, that's his guy.
His
I
little
know who he
sidekick.
is. Yeah, mustache.
Well, so Jimmy asked Josh Brolin to change. How fast can you change a diaper? How do you change a diaper? He says, "Well, I put the new diaper under the old one, and I just do a switcheroo."
Oh.
So they said, "Okay, could you do it on Guillermo?"
That's funny.
So they pull Guillermo out, who's a little Spanish Mexican.
He's a little guy.
He's a little Mexican
Yeah.
guy, and they pull Guillermo out, and Guillermo was wearing a diaper under his suit that he wears on the show. So Guillermo lays down on the floor, and Josh Brolin goes over, rips off his pants, and Guillermo, he pulls at the thing, and Guillermo's totally naked.
So they blotched it out?
Well, no, they didn't have to, because the camera was always kind of at a low point.
Ah.
So we're just looking up at Josh, but you see that, his thigh is exposed, there's no underpants
Wow.
on. Jimmy Kimmel is just standing there
That's kinda
looking down
funny.
going, oh my God, he's just laughing hysterical. It was dynamite. And Josh did it really quick. He just put the diaper right underneath, so I don't even know if he wipes the kid. He just puts the...
No, of course he wipes the kid.
Well, he puts
you
the
can't
new
put a
diaper
kid
under, and
in a
he
new diaper
pulled
with a
out the
dirty
old
ass.
one, he threw it away, and then he just did
You gotta
that.
clean the kid.
It was pretty good.
That's funny. And Josh taking a break from filming June.
Yes.
He's filming June right now.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Which is just released, going to be 2 films.
I know. Well,
everything
he's doing
now
it
is 2
with
films.
Jason Momoa, of course.
Yeah,
he was
Timothy
raving about
Chalamet,
he was
Rebecca
raving about Jason
Ferguson.
on the set.
But yeah, it's going to be good.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, I mean, this film just overwhelmed me.
It
I
is
just loved
overwhelming.
It's so much going on.
It really demands a second, maybe even a third viewing. It's a lot of intricate moments, a lot of slow stuff, but then the build, and then we have this incredible. It
Yeah.
was like, and then the same night you saw Game of Thrones.
Same night.
And
Sunday
you're watching
night, yeah.
2 giant
It's
battles.
amazing, yeah.
And me, within a 24-hour period,
Same
I saw 2 incredible battle scenes.
Yeah. I got to say, point, not to interrupt you, but it just... The place that we're at right now with filmmaking and special effects...
I was thinking the same thing.
I was like, what the hell can't we do anymore? And it's almost
I
photorealistic 100%.
Totally agree.
It's like the kids growing up today, they have no idea what they have.
I know. It's
Look at
so
where
true.
we've come from.
I know.
It's
I totally
amazing.
Agree. Absolutely,
The
100%.
technical precision to make these movies, to do the battle scenes in Game of Thrones and
Incredible.
this, it's amazing.
It is amazing.
What's it going to be like in 20 years? How much better can it get?
There I was watching, and I thought of that very thing as I'm watching this film, and we go back and we see a very, very young. Now we also saw Michael Douglas very, very young in the first Ant-Man film.
Yes, they did the de-aging.
The
de-aging.
they probably put the yellow dots.
Yeah, he's got
over
all
his
that suit
face,
on, yeah, on
and
his
they
face,
just
yeah.
remaster his face.
Yeah.
Well, this one they did it. He looked so synthetic to some extent.
I agree.
But at the same time, it looked good.
Yeah.
It looked
Then
good.
he came in, did the voice, and that sells a lot of it.
Exactly. So I'm thinking to myself, well, they've been talking about this for years. How soon will it be before we have Marilyn Monroe, we have Humphrey Bogart, we have
Yeah.
Clark Gable back in movies again?
Well, that's what George Lucas always wanted to do.
Exactly.
That's his dream.
I know.
Not having to deal with real actors. But you still got to get somebody to come in and do the voice.
Somebody still has to do the
You
voice,
got to
but
get a
that's
good
easy.
Bogart voice,
That's easy.
Well, although-
Do a good bogey.
In theory, they can just take audio recordings like they did with Roger Ebert.
Well,
Remember how they
yeah,
did that?
but they're going to sound electronic when they
I know.
remaster them.
Well,
I
they'll
gotta
figure
do
it out.
Somebody who can do a good Bogart, and of course I am available. So, Louis, it looks like this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
I don't know
That's
if
what he says.
I know, but I don't know if that's really a great Bogart, is it?
Well, they could
you do a
fine-tune
good.
it. They can fine tune it and
You do a great
synthesize it.
Jimmy Stewart, though.
I do. Jimmy. It's true, I do. But regardless, I do a pretty good Bogart when I have to.
Cool.
There's no doubt about it. All right, kid. But if you're the police, where are your badges? Badges.
We
We
don't need no
don't
stinking
need no
badges.
stinking badges. But
Okay.
anyway, back to this. We do have an appearance by Captain Marvel
Yeah,
there, who
Brie
I'll
Larson.
never get over. It should be Captainess Marvel. I don't like calling her Captain
Well,
Marvel. I don't know why.
it's because it's a military title.
The comic book.
I know.
But there's
It's
no,
true.
there's no gender in military titles.
Yeah.
You're a captain, you're a lieutenant, you're a sergeant, whatever.
Just looking, who's the biggest on the whole screen?
Well, you got
Him and
1,
him.
2. Yeah, they're the driving.
They really are the
two
driving
forces.
the driving train,
Yeah.
if you will. I liked Paul Rudd in this
Paul Rudd's
film.
perfect.
I thought he was good. He's a good
Don
comic.
Cheadle. I mean, everybody was
comic
good.
book. Everybody's
I don't
wonderful.
really have anything negative to say about the people in this film. I thought they did a
Not
great
at all.
job capturing the characters.
Right
the
down the
casting
line.
was great. Did a good job.
First Marvel movie to the final.
It's a great.
The last Marvel movie that has come out
Exactly.
into our world.
Yeah.
From the first to the last,
22nd.
quality has always
I
been
agree.
right on the money.
Yeah.
I might have a little bit of complaint possibly with some of the Andrew Garfield. I thought some of I think they lapsed a little bit on the quality and.
Yeah,
some
but
of
that
those
wasn't
films.
part of the Marvel universe.
Yes, I believe it was.
No, that was done by Columbia before Marvel got the rights again.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, that's
Oh,
not
you might
part
be
of the
right.
Marvel Cinematic
Oh,
Universe.
okay.
It is now.
Yeah.
Once they introduced him in Civil War, they got the rights back.
Tom
right before
Holland.
that. Yeah, Tom Holland.
Kid,
but
yeah.
not the Andrew Garfield, not the Tobey Maguire ones.
Oh, those
That's
are
still,
strictly
They were
Columbia.
still Columbia's property.
Yeah, and then Japan bought them, and that was that.
Japan.
Well, I mean, Tokyo, Sony was purchased by a Japanese
Oh
corporation.
yeah. But
They're no longer.
Yeah.
You know, that was a strange film. We opened with Robert Downey. He's kind of trapped in a
spaceship with Nebula. Then.
Yeah, I didn't understand.
Well, because at the end of Infinity War, they were stuck on the Titan planet. Everybody else
were they?
dissolved around them.
Oh, okay.
And they took the ship and left.
Oh,
trying to get
okay.
home.
Oh, I see.
But they can't because the ship's done. The ship's out of fuel or whatever.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
so
I
they're
was a little
floating in
bit-
space.
I didn't quite remember that
Yeah,
segment.
But
Okay.
all right, well, I mean, I guess we've probably covered this pretty well. Non-spoiler.
Yeah.
Maybe we can move on if you're ready
So,
to.
let's do
So,
it.
folks, this is your warning. We are now going to
those red
discuss the
letters,
film
flashing spoiler.
with some spoiler territory,
yes,
most
absolutely.
likely.
So please turn off if you haven't
So
seen the film.
this is your 5-second warning.
We are
5,
going to talk. No, give him
4,
10 seconds. Give him
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. You've
I'm
been
just
warned.
surprised he can count backwards from 10.
You've been warned.
That's pretty good. All right, man.
So, where do you want to begin?
well,
wanna
where
just
do I begin to tell this story?
Let's
of
start with
our
Thor.
love?
I loved
Fat Thor.
bearded Thor. Hilarious.
It was so
It was
good.
so much fun to watch
I mean,
Thor all
he-
fat and
he-
depressed.
Absolutely.
Drinking.
Just sitting there down in beers, and they say, you know, there's beer on the ship. What kind?
What kind?
I know, that was great. The whole
That was
thing was
great. That was
hilarious.
really funny.
That was funny. And that had to be his idea. I just know it in
I
my,
don't
my
know,
gut.
maybe, but-
in his massive
I
beard
hope
gut
so.
there. And just sitting
But he
there,
had a lot
his
of fun
hair
with
was all
it.
scrunchy, beard looked horrible.
Yeah.
He just looked god awful.
It was
and
great.
it was great. I loved it.
Unexpected, too.
I agree. And people were laughing through the whole
Same with my
thing.
screening.
I know. Everybody,
People erupted in applause at the end. of my theater.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But there were times there where he's up visiting his mom on the day she dies. You remember that? And
Well, because there's this
Rene
whole,
Russo,
the whole time travel thing where they go.
plays, exactly.
they-
and
they
he's
go
there
into
to meet
the-
his mom. Also, later on, I love the scene with Robert Downey talking to his dad.
That was great.
That was also
John
very
Slattery
cool.
playing his father. That was
I know,
really cool.
It was so wonderful.
Back in 1970.
Those were the touching moments.
Yeah.
I love them. Even
This
and-
movie had a lot of those small
really
moments.
did.
I love the 5 years in the future where they show Captain America sitting in the support group with the people that are
Oh,
dealing
yeah.
with life post
Right.
5 years after everybody disappeared.
Well,
that was cool.
That was kind of an emulation of the Sam character, the flying guy. When Captain America first walks in on him in the second Captain America.
Are you talking
movie.
about his friend Falcon?
Falcon,
Yeah.
the black guy?
Anthony Mackie.
Anthony Mackie,
Yes,
correct.
yes.
He walks in on him. They have just done a run around
Yes.
the park and
Yeah,
so
yeah,
forth.
yeah.
And then later on in the film, after Captain America goes to visit Haley Atwell,
Yes,
who
Atwell,
plays
yes.
his girlfriend,
Carter.
Carter
Yes.
from the Shield thing, who
Yes.
was one of the Shield. Oh, by the way, I have a little spoiler for you that you did not know about. I'm sure because I watched some deleted scenes on Civil War last night.
Okay.
But yeah, that one particular, I just totally flew right.
You were
out of
saying
it.
support group in
The
Captain
support
America.
group, yes. When he first walks in on Anthony Mackie, he's in a support group.
Oh, okay,
and
yeah.
he's helping people, and so
Yeah.
and Captain's just standing in the doorway.
That's right,
like
I remember
this,
that now,
you
yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So
What were you saying?
the thing, one of the spoilers was, you remember the woman next door to him? I don't know if you remember. And right after Nick Fury gets practically killed.
You were talking about in the apartment he lives in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a girl who, and now we find out she was in this film also. She plays she's a Shield person maybe she wasn't in this film, was she? Gee, I'm not even sure if she was in the.
I'm
new
trying to
film.
remember the face, but
She's
I know
a blonde girl, and
I know
she,
what you're talking about.
Right.
At one point, she
And-
wanted to go out with him, and
Right,
she
she
was
wanted
really
to go
an
with her.
operative. or
Scarlett
something.
Johansson said, "What about the girl across the hall?" Captain America goes up to her and he says,
Yeah, I remember
well,
that, yeah.
Hey, you want to use my laundry sometime?
I remember the
She
laundry,
Says, well,
yeah,
I'd
yeah.
like to. But then when Nick Fury comes in and he's being shot at, she comes in with a gun.
Yes, I remember that.
And then he finds out. Captain America finds out. What are you doing? She says, well, I'm here to protect you. Who hired you? He did. Nick Fury.
Oh, okay.
And she says Nick
That's
Fury
right, that's
hired
right.
me to protect you.
That's right, yeah.
So she's now part of that SHIELD team.
Yes,
With
yes.
Colby Smulders
Yes.
and Nick Fury. etc.
Colby was in this film.
I know
at
she
the end.
was. I saw her.
Yeah.
She was also at the
I love that
funeral
shot, by the way.
When they have the Haley Atwell.
That's that whole thing. Everybody, the funeral, the one camera
right.
pans
Oh, that
from
was
everybody.
awesome.
That was
I bet they
beautiful.
weren't all
Beautifully
there.
done.
And I noticed right away, where's Zoe Saldana? She wasn't with the Galaxy group. And then later on, sure
Because
enough,
because she really didn't know. She didn't really know him. She didn't really know what's his name with the funeral. She didn't because remember, the Zoe Saldana that's still alive at the end of the film. That's pre-Guardian Zoe. Because the real her was killed by Thanos. The version that is
I
that's
see what you're
her
saying.
before he officially meets her.
okay.
So basically,
Oh,
Chris
wow.
Pratt has to have her fall in love with him all over again.
Oh man.
Yeah, so
Oh,
she
wow.
has no
Yeah, because
relationship
we
to
see
anybody
him on-
else.
and I'm thinking, gee, they just left her out of that scene.
No,
and then
she-
later on the Galaxy ship, we see him doing searching for her.
Yeah.
He's doing a search.
Yeah.
But anyway, that little blonde girl,
Yes,
Haley Atwell, is actually her aunt.
in real life.
No, not in real life.
Oh, you mean the character?
In the
oh,
character.
okay, interesting.
Yeah, that was
interesting.
something they think.
Yeah, I think
So
they
she
touched on that in the
speaks.
film.
Did they?
I think so. I think I remember something about that later
Well,
on.
she speaks at the funeral in the last film, right
Okay.
after she died.
Yes.
Okay.
I think I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she speaks up there, and there's a whole speech she does, and she says, I just want to thank
remember
my
that.
auntie, and then.
Yes.
We see Captain America sitting in the audience go, what?
Yeah.
That was your aunt? The love of my life?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Did you know who the little boy was in the funeral scene at the end that was standing there towards the back end of once they get towards almost by the cabin, right before they get to Nick Fury, there's a kid, a teenager standing there all by himself. That was the little boy. And I was so happy and proud of myself that I figured out who it was. He was the little kid that helps Captain America, that helps Iron Man in Iron Man 3 when he's stuck in the shed. Remember he goes in that one sequence where he ends up in a random person's shed?
Iron Man 2 and 3, I almost need to watch again.
Yeah,
he was a
little kid.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, that was kind of interesting.
That was kind
that
of
was cool.
All right.
But
Yeah, it's a flashback, hodgepodge deluxe. We go back and see everything.
Yeah.
We lose three main characters. Well,
do.
two main characters, and then we kind of almost lose Cap. Now, I do want to point out one major thing here. At the very end of the film, we see Captain America
Yes.
sitting on a park bench.
Yes.
He is now aged completely.
Yes.
And he is the spitting image of Joe Biden.
I could see that.
Look at his
Yeah,
face
I can
again.
see
All
it.
I saw was Joe Biden
Yeah.
sitting there, and I'm thinking, is this a subtle little
Yeah.
kind of a thing like vote for Joe?
I doubt that.
I
I think
don't-
you're reading a little too much into it.
I'm telling you, you go back and look at
No,
that.
I remember what he looked
He
like.
looks like Joe Biden to a T.
What's funny is that
The hair, the nose.
and those of you that have seen the film, you know what we're talking about. But when they first show him from behind, sitting
looked
on
like
the
the
park
little
bench,
boy.
I thought it was him.
I did too.
Before he got the
As the
serum.
little
yeah,
boy.
Yeah,
I know,
that
it's
would have been kind of cool. But this
it
was
would have been.
beautiful and it made sense.
but-
He lived his life.
I
and now
know,
he's back.
he lived it
and,
back with
and
what's-her-face.
Chris Evans can leave the character behind. He did what he
He
could with it.
passed it on to
Anthony Mackie, who I guess I could go with him
I
as the
don't
new
like
Captain
him as
America,
Captain
but
America.
he's not my
Captain
favorite.
America shouldn't be black. No offense to
Well, that doesn't bother me. I just don't
I
know.
just don't think it works.
If is Anthony Mackie, I don't know. It's hard to fill the shoes of Steve Rogers as Captain America, as a person, as a character. It's
Yeah, I
tough to
suppose.
pass
Maybe
that.
bring in somebody new. I just don't know if the black thing works. I think that they're going on the heels of Black Panther, and they're just trying to figure, hey, we have a whole black cast, superheroes.
Well, maybe in the comics that's what happened too. Maybe he's passed it
Yeah, I
into
don't
the
know.
comics.
I don't know.
Because remember, these are all characters from the comics and storylines from the comics and
I don't know the
mishmash.
comics. I don't know about the comics.
I don't either,
care
but I'm
about
saying.
the comics. They mean nothing to me. I just watch the films. The films are my universe.
No, I agree with you, but at the
Doesn't
same
matter.
time, I would imagine that a lot of what we see is pulled from there. Maybe they make some things up, change the storylines a little
Yeah.
bit. Civil War storyline is a little bit different.
I did like the way, just talking about that just for a moment, Stan Lee, of course, they made him younger.
His last cameo.
His last cameo.
He's on the bus.
He's on the bus,
Yeah.
and he's got the girl next to him, and it's in the 70s.
Yeah. That
They
was
do
great.
the 70s rock music.
They did,
They're playing in
yeah.
the background. It was a great, fun little moment. There's just so many little, just so much work.
I know.
Went into this.
It's
film.
incredible the amount of people
Mind-boggling.
involved.
And the figure they made this probably in less than a year, I would
No,
assume.
they filmed. Principal photography in this film ended, I believe, in the tail end of 2017.
Really?
Yeah, because it started in August of 2017.
Well, that's
they
true,
only had
yeah.
a 3-week break from finishing Infinity War
Yeah.
to starting Endgame.
Well, that's what I figured.
because
They had to go
originally it was
right
going
into
to
it.
be.
That's true, and then a
2
year
split
later,
into-
year and a half later, out comes Infinity
Well,
War.
be-
Because it takes them that long.
It takes them a year to do all the effects.
Pre-production and post-production,
Yeah.
etc., and all that.
Reshoots, all that stuff takes
Everything.
forever.
Yeah, amazing.
But you know, I felt that this film was very satisfying. The character closure for me worked.
Yeah.
It made sense that the people who die. It made sense to me.
Scarlett Johansson falls off the
Yeah,
cliff.
I expected it to be Hawkeye kind
I
of.
did too.
You know, but I guess
did too.
because we expect that, it's a little bit more interesting.
You know, it's funny.
He's
but
got more to lose than she does.
he's
got
got
a
a
family.
family and the kids and so
Yeah.
forth. So you know, I was surprised
Yeah.
though, and specifically I had seen I don't know, there was a, you know, you try and to avoid all the spoiler that come out in the media driven world
Of
here.
course.
And I saw a thing, and you know, it was just talking about the character loss of the film, and it had a picture of Jeremy Renner there as
trick you.
Hawkeye.
The trick-
to
kind of
trick you,
misdirection.
and to, you know,
It's clickbait.
so yeah, it was a good bait and switch because I assumed he's going to die, and
Yeah.
sure enough.
See, I hate that kind of stuff.
I
Like,
do
I'm really
too.
this really annoys me,
Yeah.
especially with Game of Thrones. The show ends.
Yeah.
20 minutes later, if you go on social media,
I know.
all the movie blog sites are posting things. That big moment with Arya. That big moment. This.
I know.
And they show the picture of one of the characters that died. His final moments. Can't you guys stop for 2 seconds with the clickbait?
No, they can't.
Can't you be respectful
It's
to people
part of the obsession.
who maybe didn't see it right away?
That's part of the
That's why
obsession.
I'm glad. Like, I don't go online unless I've seen it.
Well,
I didn't go on Facebook for 3 days
I know. When
until
you
I
said
saw
I'm
this
going
movie.
away for a few days,
It's not worth it.
I thought, where's he going? I thought you were
No, I'm
going.
just leaving
You were taking.
Facebook.
You and Kim were going to
No, we're
the
just taking
Bahamas or
Facebook.
something.
I
had no
wish I was
clue.
going to the Bahamas.
I wish you were too. But
But that's our culture, though. It's like,
I know.
gotta talk about it. We gotta blog about it.
Well, you know, you've got to question the future of this franchise now. We lost Captain America. He's on, you know, or maybe we'll go back in time and get him again. We have a new film with Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow.
And that's going to be
coming out.
a prequel,
Obviously, a
origin
prequel.
story.
But you know,
A little late for that, I
those
think.
prequels are kind of.
I'm not a fan
kind
either.
of a drag, you know. They
Yeah,
kind
so then
of-
what are we going to do? We're going to have 3 or 4 Black Widow movies, all prequel?
All prequels.
That's kind of annoying.
It is annoying. So we.
It's going to have to be separate
We're
from the
gonna
main
have to get her
storyline.
out of this death mode, and we can do it with the Stones now. I mean, that's always kind of a crutch that they have to go back and bring
They
back
want
people
to.
who have died. So you know, there's that aspect to it, but
But yeah, I'm not sure.
Iron Man is now deceased. We've lost Robert Downey in the franchise.
Well, that's why the next
He's
incarnation.
dead.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they put John Favreau in. I'm thinking, what's he sitting there for?
Because he was his friend for years.
Well, yeah,
the
in
storyline.
real life.
No, but he's in all the other movies, all the Iron Man movies.
Is he?
Yeah, his character's name is Happy. He's in all the Iron Man films.
Oh, I didn't know that. I know
Yeah,
he
he's in
directed
the first 2.
the first
No,
two.
he plays a part. His character's name is Happy.
Oh, okay.
You don't know. He's got a prominent role in the next Spider-Man that's coming out in July.
I'm not surprised. Well,
Yeah.
he played the limo driver.
He's
or
his limo
something.
driver slash
Right.
handler. His name is
Yeah.
Happy.
Okay.
But yeah. So the next incarnation, you know, of the Avengers is going to have some different cast members.
Obviously.
As
I hope
you know, that's what
and
happens.
that's what kind of ruined the whole thing for me in a way. I mean, I was so disillusioned by the losing of these people and the fact that this is it. I'm not going to see this cast anymore.
I know.
I mean, you know, with Batman and Superman, they interchange them like, you know, turnstiles. There's no concept of. I mean, here these guys, they let them do 4, 5, 6 films, 7, 8 films.
11, 12, whatever
I know,
it is,
and
with
they-
all the different little appearances.
I know, and,
Yeah.
and you know, it really disappoints me that the DC people, Warner Brothers, is just so so hard
They
on
can't
there.
seem to keep it together over
They
there.
can't seem to keep it together.
And my advice to
And
them:
I'm disgusted by
stop
it.
trying to keep up with Marvel.
What's
you can't.
wrong with?
You're not going to be able to.
I love
Just
Ben
do
Affleck
your own
as
thing.
Batman. I thought he was perfect. I really did. I loved him in this.
I enjoyed him too.
I thought
I'm
he was
sad
great.
to see him go. I don't want to do another young Batman. That's what they're doing. They don't have
I
any
hate
guts.
it.
They're going back to do another
I
young
hate
Batman
it.
origin story, which we don't need.
I hate it. I hate it. Well,
Give
I
us
gotta-
another older Batman. For crying
Go
out
back
loud.
to. I'll tell you something right now. If you haven't not watched the television show Gotham, you should go back and check it out because the last episode. Suddenly we had a 5 years later.
Yeah.
Where we see little Bruce Wayne go away to Tibet,
Ah,
just
yes.
like Christian
train
Bale
with
did
Ra's al Ghul, yeah.
in the first Dark Knight film.
Yes.
And oh my God, it was it's great. So now he has come back, barely made an appearance in last Thursday.
yes.
But he is Batman. He has come back. He's just kind of in the shadows and the
Yeah.
wings. No, the usual. Like seeing the first Alien film.
understand,
and
yeah.
You just see the alien, little flashes of him. You never really see a good shot until the end when he flies out of the thing. And we can talk about the high school production very briefly. But of the kids doing Alien and
Very impressive.
Yeah, it was.
I did watch about 40 minutes of it.
I
It was
watched
good.
the whole thing. I watched.
Yeah, I'm going
going
to finish it myself. Yeah.
Yeah, absolute. So. Once again, I've lost my ultimate.
It's okay.
What was I talking
Well,
about? I was talking about.
well, we went on a slight
Batman
side tangent.
and,
Batman,
yeah, I was talking about Gotham. Forgive me.
Yeah.
I'm losing my mind, ladies and gentlemen. And it's only because that we're so. I'm thinking of 20 different things at once.
I
So
know.
obviously, I'm just lost in my own sauce here, as Mother Cabrini once said.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact of the matter is, the final Batman episode is this Thursday
This
night.
week. Oh, Gotham, you mean?
Gotham, forgive me. The Batman episode.
Why are
of
they stopping
Gotham.
the show?
Huh?
Why are they
I
ending
have
the show?
no idea. I have no idea. I love
show's-
Benjamin. What's
It's
his name?
got
The
consistent
guy.
ratings, I think. I
It's
don't see any
incredible.
unless they're just
Great show.
they figure they've done what they went out to do. I mean,
This is when the show should start.
I know.
Batman's on the show.
I know.
We got a show with Batman on it. I can't.
know.
I mean, and they film it so beautifully. It's like pure Tim Burton every episode. It's fun. It's colorful. The characters are bigger than life. I love the show. It's right up there with my favorite stuff. I love the Orville. That just got renewed again.
Yeah.
They just had their most expensive episode ever. They did a whole time transition thing. But back to this very wonderful, wonderful film. It
really
is
is
an
something
amazing
special.
film.
You made a good point when you texted me late last night. It was interesting because I hadn't thought about it. You said that this is going to be the most viewed film in history.
It is.
That's a very interesting
Well,
point.
it is for now.
For now.
Until the next Avatar comes out. Avatar
yeah.
is still number one.
Yeah.
With 2.7. I thought Last Jedi, Return of the Jedi, or the other Jedi.
The Last Jedi was the last
Not
one.
the Last Jedi, but the one before that.
Force Awakens.
Force
Well,
Awakens.
that's up there.
That was way up there.
But it's still nothing is
Avatar,
still dethroned.
2.7 billion.
So they have
But
another
they're
billion to
saying
go.
They have they're gonna do it. They're gonna go to 3
But
billion.
then Avatar 2 is going to come out and then knock them back out
Exactly.
again. And it'll be
Avatar-
Avatar 1, Avatar 2,
You
3,
got it.
4, 5.
Avatar is still number one.
And we have to do a footnote here because I always have to say this because it's not fair otherwise. The reason these movies are making this money is because of the ticket price. If you still do adjusted for inflation, Gone with the Wind would still be
Number
number
one.
one based on tickets.
I know.
I still think they should have two metrics. Okay, here's the gross. We should also have a tally of tickets sold. Why not? Because it's not fair. It's cheating to just go by the amount of money it makes. Because the tickets are 100 times more expensive than they were back in the day.
Every year
It goes up.
It goes up.
If you go to an IMAX movie,
you go
and-
back 10 years ago,
I
and
know.
suddenly you've inflated yourself.
Yeah.
Out of, I mean, to say that the first Avengers film, which what 2009,
2012.
2012. Okay, look at ticket prices then.
Yeah.
Maybe ticket prices were maybe
Not as much as this.
yeah, but probably fairly
Close, but if you go to IMAX right now, Garden State Plaza, a premium screening there,
Yeah.
it's like $21 and change.
I know.
I can do the same show at the beautiful Willowbrook Theater for a fraction of that. I can go for 11 and change, assuming I don't go with
they have an IMAX there.
No, but they have a really nice theater.
The Dolby
Yeah,
Atmos or whatever.
but some of the other ones have IMAXs. But it all depends upon the where you live in terms of the zip code, the county. Bergen County's more expensive.
Okay.
But you think about this. Okay, you got the average screening is going to be probably, let's say the average price is $15, $12. That's a hell of a lot more than when I remember seeing Batman Forever in 1995.
1972,
Batman Forever was
yeah.
95. That was a $7.25 ticket. $7.25
I
tickets.
know.
in.
So it should all be based on relativity, and and it's almost
fairness
impossible to
sake.
do. Yeah, I
but
agree.
it's never going to happen.
I agree.
Because companies just like to tout the box office, and that's all that
Well,
matters.
you know,
and-
that's what we go by
Yeah.
because it's almost too impossible to. But they
Well, they
adjusting
can track
for
ticket
inflation.
sale. They know what the
I
tickets
still
are.
see it. I just saw that same list you saw.
Yeah.
Gone with the Wind was number 1. I think Avatar was still number 2 though, or maybe something else was number 2.
I don't remember. I didn't look at it recently.
but
But,
yeah, I did-
But I just know Gone with the Wind was such a phenomenon when that
It
came
was,
out. You
but
know?
tickets were like 5 cents.
Yeah, I know.
I mean,
I'm pissed I
so-
didn't get to see it when it was in theaters again last month.
Yeah,
I really
you
wanted to go
did.
because I've never seen it.
It's a 3
I wanted to
hours, so-
see it in the theater.
Well,
And the showings were very inconvenient times.
were they?
Oh, like 2 p.m. on this day, or well, I just couldn't make it.
Well, it's a 3-hour film, so
Which is fine by me. That doesn't
Yeah,
bother
yeah,
me
yeah.
at all.
Well, you know, they just had for 3.5 hours. I just went to the Garden State Plaza last week. I walked in on Ben-Hur. They had a
Oh,
new,
yeah.
they had a brand
That'd
new
be pretty cool to see on the big
remastered-
screen.
Oh, Ben-Hur is a
yeah,
spectacular.
well, I've seen the film.
Okay.
I just haven't seen it on the big screen.
Yeah, yeah.
Did
Oh,
you
I-
didn't see it on the big screen.
I don't believe. No, I did not. Came out in '59.
You know what's cool is that Suffer Movie Theater does a lot of those Saturday morning old movie stuff.
Really?
Oh yeah, they have a whole series where they'll do every Saturday morning they'll play old movies for a period of
Do
time.
they have the guy at the organ? Play? Probably not.
Not sure
He's
if they
on
do that
Saturday
anymore.
nights.
They used to.
Well, they have the guy on Saturday nights, and he plays the organ.
I haven't been in that theater in years. The
I
last time
play
I was
my
there,
organ every night.
yes, I haven't been there since the last movie I saw in that theater was Vicky Cristina Barcelona.
Oh boy,
long time ago.
Oh wow.
I love that movie.
Well, usually they're just going for the big blockbusters.
They usually do
just
now.
try and pack
Yeah,
in as
exactly.
much dollars as they can
Yeah.
get. It's such a shitty theater.
It's
though.
small. It's old.
Small, it's
I mean, I don't know
old.
if they've redone it since.
It looks like an old vaudeville theater.
It does.
and I don't
It's
think
been there
they've
forever.
changed it very
It's probably a
much.
historical landmark at this point.
It probably is, but the seats are kind of crappy. They really
Unless
need
they
to
redid
renovate
it. When was the last time you were there?
Oh,
Maybe
God.
they've redone it.
Yeah, it's got to be 10 years now.
They must have
I've been
redone
there
it.
a long time. I think I don't know what the hell I saw there. But I was very unimpressed with the print,
Yeah.
and I mean the whole setting was not.
No, I know.
It
It was-
wasn't the print that was bad. It was the screen was kind of.
Yeah, I remember. It
filthy.
was not a remarkable
You know, it had that
experience.
singy look on the screen. It just didn't look good.
Yeah.
How do you like Starlet? As a blonde or as a redhead?
I like them both, but probably a little bit more as a blonde.
Really, I like
Yeah.
her as a redhead.
She's not bad as a redhead.
She is a blonde in real life.
I know she
mean,
is,
she
yeah.
does go through that. She's dating, of course, the guy from Saturday Night Live. What the hell is his name? On Weekend
Davidson.
Update. No, Weekend
Kidding.
Update.
What are the new guys? I don't watch the
Oh
current.
God!
Weekend
Well,
Update.
it's Michael Cho. Is the other guy, and the other guy is the white guy. He looks like a Harvard grad. He is a Harvard
I think I
grad.
picture the face, but I don't know
Yeah,
the name.
yeah. Colin Jost.
Oh,
Colin
yeah?
Jost is his name. Yeah, she's been dating him for quite some
Wow.
time now. Like a
Now,
year or
was
so.
she was married briefly, right?
Married to Ryan Reynolds
For a little bit,
For
yeah.
a little bit.
Didn't last too long.
No.
No.
I just think that two movie stars. They it's just not going to work. They're just off making movies all the time.
Sorry.
You got to be with
Well,
somebody.
some of them make it work.
Well, you got to be with
Rita
somebody.
Wilson and Tom Hanks make it work.
Yeah, but she's stay at home more or
Um,
less. She
you know.
doesn't do movies.
Well, I think she
She's
took
not a movie
Well, I
star.
think she did
She's
it
got
to
a
raise the
musical
kids.
career.
You know.
She's got a musical career, and she's not very good, but
Does she?
She sings. She's got albums out.
I didn't know that.
She's on shows all the time.
Oh,
She was
really?
a musical guest on
Wow.
I
I think she's a double breast cancer survivor.
Is she?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, that could be.
Yeah.
That could be.
Tough. But,
Yeah, but,
anyway, we're really digressing here. I don't think we can really say much more. We loved it. I think it's great.
Well,
I think it's a fantastic feat of filmmaking. Production, amazing.
Another major spoiler that I'm going to give away is the fact that at the very beginning of the film, more or less, we see when the Avengers all finally come back together again to possibly
Yeah.
get everybody back again before the 5-year interim goes
Yes,
on.
yes.
We see Thor just go up and kill Thanos.
That was cool. I
And
didn't expect that
I
either.
didn't expect that. I thought, oh, the movie's over. I can
Yeah.
leave. Okay, goodbye.
Yeah.
I'm ready to walk out the door.
Yeah.
Thinking, oh, well,
Decapitation
that's
galore.
the end of that.
That was
but
cool.
because of the stones, we go back in time. Now the Thanos
We go
from
into the
past,
quantum realm.
Right.
Yeah.
Thanos from the past comes into
Yes.
the future to reget
That was
the
cool.
stones. That was dynamite.
That was awesome.
I loved it.
And it made
I
sense.
loved it. I loved
They
it.
did a great job with that.
And I like the fact that you could almost think, but they do this in all time travel things.
Yeah.
Whenever you do go back in time, you see yourself.
Yeah.
And you go into the future.
Exactly.
You kind of see
You gotta try to
yourself
avoid
as that
yourself,
future
yeah.
person.
Yeah.
They just did a whole thing on the Orville last week.
with that.
We had his.
I love time travel stuff.
I do too.
I love our
It's
Avengers
cool.
talking about they're criticizing Paul Rudd like you mean to tell me everything you know about time travel from Back to the Future? It's all bullshit. It was great.
Because it is.
Yeah,
it
that was
is.
great.
Really?
And I thought what was funny was that in this film, now 5 years later, Bruce Banner has learned how to control the Hulk, and
I
he just
love
stays as Big Hulk,
I
but
know.
smart
But
Bruce
he's got the
Banner.
glass. How do you get glasses
That
to
was
fit him?
great.
That's all I can think.
He's
Where'd
at
they
the
get those
diner, and the
glasses?
girls want selfies with him. That
I
was
know,
great.
and he's
So
going,
funny.
say green.
Yeah,
green.
That was so funny.
That was funny.
He's so good in that role.
He's dynamite.
He's great.
He's so
He's
wonderful.
just a likable actor too.
He's a good guy.
Yeah.
Everybody
Mark
loves
Ruffalo's
him.
awesome.
I know.
Yeah,
It's
I
really
forgot
good.
that he worked with Downey before the Avengers movies. They were in Zodiac together, but David Fincher's film.
that's right.
Yeah,
I love
forgot about
Zodiac.
That was a
That's
good film. I
yeah,
gotta
yeah,
watch that
yeah.
again.
David Fincher.
That was interesting.
There's the two cuts. There's the regular 2 hour and 15-minute
Yeah.
cut, and then there's like a 3 hour cut.
I didn't see that cut.
The 3 hour
Yeah.
cut is way too
Too
long.
long. Well, there's a reason it's not a 3-hour cut.
Yeah, it's just Robert
Originally.
Downey, crying, going to people's homes and
He's crying.
Yeah, he cries. He's like a moany, groany little wimp.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, a little bit.
All right.
But it's good. It's good to see Robert.
love Robert.
He's really the true actor here. He's definitely one of the best actors on the entire film. I mean,
He's fantastic. I mean,
he's
he's
dynamite.
been excellent for years.
Yeah.
I've always enjoyed Robert.
And that
very
bothers me.
versatile.
Without him in this series, and obviously he's given up the throne, but they did kind of lean on that maybe his daughter might, she.
Well,
might
that's
turn,
only gonna take 20 years.
Well, no, they'll just zip forward and maybe. Or I've got to say this though, when they finally are all there to fight Thanos.
How
at the
cool
end,
is that scene?
I know.
I almost felt like
but-
they were leaving it for a cut. I always thought it was going to be a cliffhanger ending, where they're all running
Well,
towards. But that was
yeah.
an incredible.
No, that
when they
was an
all showed up,
incredible scene.
I was just
Oh.
like, yeah.
But how disgusted was I to see Gwyneth Paltrow as Pepper Potts?
Oh, she shows up in the Iron Man outfit.
I know.
I didn't expect that.
I was like, no, please, you just ruined the whole scene for me.
No,
and
she's
she's
only
like
in there a
this,
couple minutes.
here I Pepper Potts, little goop.
Yeah.
She's
Buy
got her-
Goop.
Buy Goop. She's got her Goop catalog. No, that's a joke.
I know.
But when she showed up, I think, what's she doing there? Oh,
Well,
my
they need
God.
everybody they can get.
I love this scene.
The only thing I'm like, okay, everybody knew exactly the right moment to show up.
I know.
Right when Thanos' army is coming out of the Nether.
Well, they do have kind of
I
intercommunatory,
guess.
kind of ant-like,
Yeah.
network amongst them so that they can all come together.
I love how Doctor Strange knew that was the only outcome that was going to work. He had to give the stone.
right. I love the whole bit with Tilda Swinton.
That was cool.
Oh, he won't come for another 5 years. She
Yeah.
knows all and sees
Yeah.
all. Oh, that was wonderful.
Yeah, I liked her too.
She was
I
only
didn't
in the
expect
scene
to see her.
briefly.
That was cool.
I didn't either, but I loved her appearance. She's
Me
so,
too.
She's so alien-like.
Yeah.
She's like David Bowie's mother or something.
She's definitely an odd-looking person.
She's definitely an
But she's
odd-looking
great.
soul, but she's just wonderful as an actress. I
agree.
adore her as a
Me
human
too.
being. I truly, truly do.
She's awesome.
She is awesome. I wish Kate Blanchett maybe could have come out of the dead work. Of course, she got killed off.
She got killed off in Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She did. It kind of was like little Captain Marvel. There was the most powerful of the
Amazing,
group.
yeah. And I saw
When
she
comes down, but then she gets her ass kicked anyway.
A little bit,
quite a
Yeah, she's not
bit.
invincible.
No, he punches her right out.
And she shot this before she shot Captain Marvel. That was
Really?
interesting. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
possible.
Yeah.
I suppose.
And all these actors, I got to commend them because most of them, with the exception of Robert Downey Jr., he's the only one that got the full script. All the rest of them,
Oh, really?
they just got their pages with everything redacted except their lines. That's very hard to do. It's very hard to. You don't know what's being said to you. You don't know the background of what's being done in the scene. All you know is your lines.
Yeah, but you know your character.
You know
You've
your
been playing
character.
this character
yeah,
for
but
years
what about
and
her?
years.
This is the first time she's doing this, Brie Larson. She hasn't played Captain Marvel before. They hadn't even written the script before by the time she showed up to do this scene.
Yeah,
You know?
I guess.
So I got to give them credit for being able to pull it together.
Yeah, but they're actors and they're
They
told
are,
to
but it's
act
still
and they
not
know what
easy
they're
to
doing.
pull shit out of your ass.
I don't think so.
No, I think so.
I think you put that costume on and you know your Captain Marvel, you know your Thor, you know your.
Yeah, but Captain Marvel, she didn't.
The Hulk.
She must have probably just read the comics to know a little bit about who the character was.
She went through 6 months of preparation on how to be Captain.
Oh, well, I
Marvel.
hope so.
Of course she did. I mean, she just wasn't pulled out of.
No, I know,
I
but-
mean, there was probably 10,000 actresses that not 10,000, but they probably narrowed it down to about 20 actresses.
Well, yeah, I mean,
that they
I
thought
don't know
could
if
do
she
it.
just got the offer or did she have to audition? I don't know
I
about
don't know.
that.
Well, I'm sure she had.
She's
to
an
audition
Oscar-winning
some-
actress. Sometimes that
She is,
bypasses
indeed.
the audition process,
Yeah.
but who knows?
She's
That's
very,
another
very
conversation.
cute, but,
she's very good.
yeah.
Yeah, and she's cute.
She's cute. And
I like
she's-
her a lot. I think she's good as
I
Captain
don't love her
Marvel.
though. I didn't love that film. I found it to be almost.
I know you didn't love it. I really
didn't-
enjoyed it.
I'll tell you one thing. Nick Fury. he talks about, I think in the last film, no, he talks about in one of the Captain America films when he has the eye patch, and he talks about, he says, yeah, if you knew how I lost this eye, who I had to fight. Yeah, he loses it because of a cat scratched his eye.
I know.
And yeah,
I know,
but he
Captain
makes
Marvel.
it sound like in one of the previous Marvel films that, hey, I went up against some
because
real
in that
tough thing.
point they didn't really know how that was going to play out.
Yeah, they probably didn't know
They
how
had
they
no
were gonna
idea
pull
how
his
they were
eye.
going to do that.
Yeah, and then suddenly a cat just scratches his eye, and he's got this patch on, and you think he's this big tough guy.
I know.
No, some little pussy cat. Just
Although the cat technically is an alien.
Oh well, that's true.
That's true.
It was basically an alien.
Yeah.
I like that cat. That
kinda
was probably
fun.
the best part of the whole film for me. But anyway,
Any final thoughts? Because I feel like we've covered
wonderful
almost everything.
movie. I am worried for the franchise, though. I have to say, and that's what kind of hit me in the gut as I walked out of the theater. I just had this unsure kind of like, oh, I love this franchise. I just hate the. It's like you go to
I understand.
Olive Garden. You go to some place that, and I'm not saying the Olive Garden's
He's
anything.
comparing the Avengers to the
Oh,
Olive
well,
Garden.
forgive me. I'm talking about something that as a standard.
I
It's
know,
like,
I understand.
It's like, let's say McDonald's just suddenly closed.
I see what you're saying.
And then in millions, there's a billion point.
And then it comes back, but it's a Japanese restaurant.
Right, it comes
McDonald's.
back. No, it's McDonald's, but now it's McChoys, or.
Well, we'll get more Avengers movies. It's just going to be a while.
I guess.
What they got to do is
We'll
with
have
the next
another Ant-Man. We'll have another
with the
Flash.
next phase, they're going to introduce other films, other
Yeah,
new characters,
yeah.
and then eventually we'll get another Avengers film
Forgive me, I
with
just
some
said
newer
we'll have
characters.
another Flash movie. I meant Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Flash is the DC world, obviously.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm gonna miss Chris as his contract is up.
I will miss him.
Scarlett Johansson's contract is up.
Yeah.
So it's a big thing. But that's what
Yeah.
bothered me the most about this is that
I know.
the series as we know it is now not going to be the same. It's going to be a different
It'll be
world.
different.
And
Unless they do,
did you sob up when Robert Downey bit the dust there when he?
No, but I got tears in my eyes at the funeral scene.
Yeah, the funeral scene.
Yeah.
I did too a little bit. I have to say that was a little bit moving.
Yeah, and he handled all that.
he did a beautiful
great
job. I just
When he's
dying
doing those
there.
video messages to his daughter. and his
Oh,
wife,
and
yeah, that was
the
great.
hologram.
Yeah, that was cool.
so cool.
They did a great job.
And
with
his
that.
little daughter's just sitting there, and then John Favreau says, "Are you hungry?
Yeah.
What do you want?
Cheeseburgers?
Cheeseburgers? Your dad liked cheeseburgers."
I gotta say that I feel that given that these are big tentpole blockbuster movies, that a lot of times don't really have the greatest scripts. I think these movies are very well written.
Beautifully.
I think the dialogue is great.
Excellent.
They do a great job of blending comedy with excitement, with poignancy.
Absolutely.
I love them. I think
They're-
they're great.
I totally agree.
These movies, these last few couple Avengers movies too, especially, really just
These Russo
really
guys,
well done.
Spectacular.
They're great directors.
are
They
awesome.
really do a great job. And they have a comedy background.
Do they?
These guys started doing stuff in that show Community,
Oh, okay.
and then they've done a few
Did
other
they?
movies. Yeah, they did that movie, You, Me, and Dupree, and then
I don't know that.
that was a movie with Owen Wilson.
Oh, okay.
And then they started getting into. Then they got the Captain America movie, the second one, and then they did the
They're
third
not
one.
now.
Yeah, they're great.
No, it was the third one.
No, they
Wasn't-
did Winter
Didn't
Soldier.
Tom, what's his name, did the first two films?
No, the first one was Joe Johnston.
Yeah.
The Russo brothers did 2 and 3.
Are you sure?
Positive. They did the Winter Soldier, and then they got the role. Then they got the job of doing Civil War.
Oh.
And then through that, once Joss Whedon decided not to do any more Avengers movies after Part 2, they came in and did Infinity War and this.
What did Josh Whedon do? What did
He did the
do?
first 2 Avengers
No,
films.
yeah, but then okay.
Then he
That's
decided
right.
he didn't want to do anymore.
That's right, I'm
Now he's
confusing
developing some other TV show. I
Oh,
don't
was
know
he?
what it is.
Oh, okay.
But he also helped a little bit with Batman and Superman once Zack Snyder's daughter killed herself. He stepped in and helped finish the movie in post-production a
Oh,
little
did
bit.
he? Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I believe he even did some rewrites for that film.
Which film specific? Batman,
Batman
versus?
versus Superman.
Oh, okay.
Oh, was it? No, I'm sorry. I think it was
Justice
Justice
League?
League.
Okay.
It was Justice
Yeah,
League.
Justice League had-
He helped.
yeah.
He helped with reshoots.
Ambiguous.
And wrote the script for
Yeah,
some of the
right.
reshoots
Gotcha.
to add the comedy and to keep the pace up. And then he helped with post production once Zack Snyder became unavailable due to this tragedy of his daughter.
I thought Zach was let go for some reason.
No, he left because his daughter killed herself.
Okay.
It's a tragedy. Him and his wife had to
Who
pick
was
up
the director
pieces.
that was kind of cast off? There was one guy that that was the guy.
You talking
from-
about Bohemian Rhapsody?
No.
That was Bryan
no,
Singer.
Forgive me, I'm confusing James Gunn because he was the one.
Well,
that,
James Gunn, Guardians, yeah, they fired him, and now they hired him back.
I know because of the.
But now he's got to
it was a
do.
sexual
He's doing. Yeah, exactly. He's doing Suicide
Me
Squad
Too
first.
thing. Is he? Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, that should be
So
interesting.
that should be good. Yeah, I'm
That
excited
should
for
be
that.
interesting.
I'm sure it'll be definitely better than the first. It's a total
Yeah.
reboot, I believe.
Oh, is it?
I believe they were rebooting it. Kind
No,
of.
I know Will Smith's not in
He's
it.
not in it. I don't even think that character's in it.
Oh, really?
I didn't
I
care
wonder
about
if they'll
that
have
character.
Margot Robbie in it though, as
You gotta have her. I
yeah,
hope.
I would think so.
Yeah.
And I don't believe Jared Leto.
Jared Leto.
Leto
I'm
will
not sure.
be back.
I haven't heard his name
Who
mentioned
knows?
yet.
Yeah, I haven't either.
But
I'm not looking forward to Joaquin as the Joker. That just
see, I think that looks really cool.
Do you?
I think it looks really different.
might be good.
Very interesting. It's a
Well, he is demented enough.
and it's a rare dramatic film for Todd Phillips, who's done before this the three Hangover films.
Oh,
So this
okay.
should be interesting.
Well, you know, when comedian directors turn serious.
Well, I think it's going to
Peter
be good.
Farrelly, great
Well,
example.
Green Book,
Oh my
yeah, I
God.
agree.
He just picked out his next project,
What
by
is
the
it?
way. Peter Farrelly. He didn't say.
It's called Pink Book.
Yeah. No, it's called, I don't know, Reader's Digest.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's called, but yeah, he just picked it out. No title. as
Reader's
of yet.
Digest. I used to read that all the time. My
Did
family,
you?
when I was a kid,
Yeah.
always got that in the mail.
There you go.
That was the perfect bathroom reading.
I'll never forget.
Perfect size.
Back in my days of being a kid, we had this wonderful comic out there called Classics Illustrated. You remember that?
No.
Maybe you didn't know.
Before my time.
But it was so cool. And what it was they just had Classics Illustrated. They had Joan of Arc, Ivanhoe, Robinson Crusoe,
That's cool.
Hunchback of Notre Dame. So I'll never forget, there was a little cartoon somewhere in the New Yorker, right? And it said, okay, we're doing whatever, some Dickens novel
Yeah.
or something, right?
Oliver Twist or something.
Let's say Oliver Twist or yeah, let's say Oliver Twist. So we'd say, okay, everybody turn to page 342, and you, Tommy, that's page 7 for you. And you see, and I actually looked
Yeah.
at the issue
That's
that
pretty
he was
good.
reading,
Yeah.
and I went and got my comic, and sure enough, the way they drew
That's
page
great.
7,
It looked like that.
It was exactly
That's
page
clever.
7 and 8
That's
when
great.
you open the book.
Yeah.
They did a really cool job.
That's really
so
cool.
It was cool. It was great fun.
Yeah.
But they were great comics, and they really condensed the huge novel into this.
So it's like a literary Cliff Notes almost.
Well, exactly.
Yeah,
You know, it was
that's
a Reader's
cool.
Digest, but it was in comic form.
That's awesome.
And they really did a great job. I mean, and even
That's
teachers all over the country were saying, you know, they're great. They
Yeah,
really do
it's a good thing to do.
fantastic. And a little picture would give your
That helps.
1,000 words. Yeah,
Exactly.
it was pretty cool.
Well, I think
I
that's
loved
it.
it when the little raccoon guy says, yeah, and the chick with the antenna.
The channel with the antenna.
Yeah,
that
the
was
chick
funny.
with the antenna.
A lot of
Where'd
funny
she
guy.
go? Where'd
Yeah.
she go?
A lot of good little jokes
Yeah,
like that.
I think
Little-
Chris Pratt was wasted in this film.
He didn't have much to do.
He just did his little dance in the forest there
Yeah.
when he's doing that little.
Then he flew around for a little bit, and then him and Thor bickered in the shuttle at the end.
Yeah, I don't think he was even on set pretty much. I think they just used old footage, and
I mean, it's possible.
that's what it seemed like to me. Because I remember that scene when that was in Guardians of the Galaxy, I think the first one, or it was the
Yeah,
first.
yeah.
When he's in that forest and he's singing the song
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he's dancing around there. She was kind of good in this film.
Karen Gillan, very good as
sexy,
Nebula.
very
Yeah,
sexy little robot too.
Yeah, I agree.
Just the way she walks and
Yeah.
carries herself,
She's good.
She's really quite right.
No,
quite
she's
cool.
excellent.
And we have the bad from the future and the bad from the future.
From the past.
Actually, from the past, meaning the good
Exactly.
from the future. And you would think that the bad from the past would kind of go, oh well, look, I turned good here. So why wouldn't she just go, oh well, I guess I turned good, so
because she hasn't evolved to that yet.
I know.
She's not ready to
I
put her
know.
brain
And
there.
if you don't know what we're talking about, it's just as well.
It's like as if in 10 years from now, Daryl, you're an evangelical preacher, but you now wouldn't go do that.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I wouldn't.
But
And not even in 10 years will I be doing that.
No, I
no
know.
way.
But anyway,
I think we've
anything
done it
else? I think
all.
we're good. I think we
We've
covered this film
covered
pretty
it.
well.
Great,
we loved it.
great
Check it
film.
out if you haven't seen it. If you sat with this for this long, you've obviously seen the film.
I would hope
I would
so.
imagine. So
Yeah.
otherwise, you're a glutton for punishment. We give you ample warning.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear about
The
it.
two of you remaining here on this
Yes.
this
So
final
one of
part
you.
of the episode.
They've
So there we go. Yeah,
Calm down.
there's our main audience over
Yeah.
there, sound asleep.
woof woof.
On
All
the
three of
couch
them.
over there. Yeah.
No,
I think
But,
the banter just goes into a drone edged for them.
it does. So
there we
real
go.
quick, why don't we just, as a custom here, we'll cover what's coming out next week. I got a few posters for us.
Okay.
We have a few things coming out. We have The Long Shot, not The Long Shot, with Seth Rogen and Charlize Theron. That looks good.
Charlene hasn't dated anybody in real life for like
she's
5 years now.
Really eager
Sean
to date.
Penn was the
and
last
people,
one
she ghosted him.
Yeah.
This looks fun. With Dennis Quaid. He wants
Oh,
his
yeah,
house
yeah,
back.
yeah, yeah,
But I
yeah.
gotta say, they gave away the whole damn movie in the
I
trailer.
know, I
Come
know.
on, guys.
You know, when I saw the IMAX,
That looks interesting.
I don't know anything
Werner
about
Herzog's new documentary about Gorbachev.
Oh, okay.
I would watch that.
No, that
I wouldn't
I
go
knew
see it in the
nothing about.
theater. This is limited release anyway, but I'd see it at home.
When you saw Endgame just now at whatever theater you saw,
Yes.
you saw it on IMAX? Did you? Say,
No, I
or
went to see it at Willowbrook.
regular theater.
It was crowded.
Or
Yeah.
the Dolby Atmos.
Yeah,
or
it was
whatever.
beautiful. It was
Okay,
gorgeous.
it was beautiful, gorgeous. Did they show the trailer for the new Godzilla film?
Yes, a new trailer too.
Yeah.
Looks good.
New trailer.
Yeah.
But with the Hydra, with the three-headed.
Yes. Oh yeah,
Hydra?
all the monsters are in there. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and they showed the whole fucking
They
scene.
always do that.
They killed it.
I know.
I'm so disgusted. Then you see Godzilla kill the three.
Well, you know that's no
Hydra heads.
surprise. You know he's gonna kill
I
it.
don't care. It was like a 5-minute trailer. It just went on, and I just said there, and I said out loud, accidentally to myself, I just said, "Oh, let's show it the whole."
I know. Well,
goddamn
that's a
movie."
huge problem that we need to address. Is
I
that
really despise it.
I don't know why they feel they got to give away the whole movie. You can still entice us.
That's going to be
Don't
a
give the whole
15
thing
minute.
away.
It's going to be a 15-minute segment in the Godzilla film where he kills that
Yeah, I
Hydra,
know.
where everybody comes together.
know.
Oh, do we kill him or do we kill the other guy?
Yeah.
And then they got to kill Godzilla first.
I
They
know.
say Gojira. They got to kill Gojira.
It's a drag.
First. It is.
They
a
always
drag.
do that. They
Well,
do that.
it's
That's
a
why
drag.
a lot of times I'll watch a trailer once and I'll forget about it. Like Avengers.
I don't want to go to the
I saw
trailer.
the Avengers trailer once and I didn't remember anything from it. Because I don't want that to stick in there. Don't give me the movie.
I do not go
It's a
see the
drag.
trailers, but I had to for this film because I was worried about the seating.
I know.
I was so concerned that if I don't get there and if I don't get my seat, but I didn't need to get my seat. I ended up just sitting exactly where I wanted to sit.
So you don't pick your seat ahead of time.
I did pick my seat. I have to
You
on
have
the
to.
AMC
Yeah, but you
app.
said sometimes you ignore that when you get into the theater.
I
though.
always do.
Yeah.
I never have sat in the seat I had to sit ever.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Ever, 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 ever. But this time I thought, well, maybe I might have to.
Yeah.
But all they showed was, when you go to the app and they
Yeah,
open it
yeah,
up,
yeah.
you always see the center part of the theater is always all taken.
A lot of times, yeah.
Mostly the center part. But in this particular event, when I did go yesterday, people were just sitting all over the theater. They weren't just sitting in this
Oh, good,
condensed
yeah.
little area. But it looked like that amount of people, but they were just all spread out. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I figured, oh great, I don't have to worry about this. I had a whole row to myself. Next thing you know, I'm sitting there and there's the guy,
Drag.
and these two guys come up, hey, that's my seat. Prove it.
I know.
Where's your phone? Oh, my phone died. I said, well, fuck
That's
you
convenient.
then. Get lost. And then he said, oh, please, man, I just want my friend in here. And I said, oh, for Christ's sake. And I moved over. And as I told you, I was so grateful I did because the guy in front of us leaning back.
On him the
And
whole
he's just a
time.
little squirmy guy. He looked like Jeremy.
the seat-
Jeremy Renner looks like a little kid in half
He's not
the
a big
scene.
guy.
I know, but there's a couple seats there towards the end, or right at the beginning of the film, when it first opens up and we see Jeremy Renner with his kids. He's like the same size as they
Yeah.
are.
Well, did you notice that he had a brace on his foot? He couldn't leave. You know when they give criminals that little ankle bracelet?
ankle bracelet?
Yeah, he had one on there
Why?
because he couldn't leave. Well, because of remember they had the in Civil War when they were trying to control what all the Avengers and all the different people with powers can do. That was the whole gist of the movie. Is that the government wanted to control
Oh, okay.
what these guys could be doing.
Right.
So I believe that the ankle bracelet was part of that. He was kind of on house arrest.
I see. Okay.
But that's probably why we didn't see him in Infinity War.
And then
He
they
couldn't
just
leave his
evaporate.
house.
Yeah, then they just
Yeah.
evaporate.
But anyway, folks, that's our show. We'll be back next week with some
Yeah.
more movies, some cool stuff.
Yeah.
And,
And
this
the
was-
ending of Thanos, I'm not actually going to say what it is, but it was a just ending for Thanos.
yeah, of course.
You know, it was just.
Yeah, it was great.
You know, suddenly.
It was great.
He got his due
He did,
revenge.
he did, it was
really
awesome.
was. And
Yeah.
when that happened,
Yeah.
he evaporates into thin air.
Yeah.
The whole audience just.
I know. We are the
Everybody-
dust in the wind.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Is dust in the wind. That was cool.
Yeah.
It was cool.
All right, folks.
There you
See
go.
you
If you're
next
still
week.
with us, man, I want to marry you
Thanks a lot.
because you are wonderful to
Yes.
stay with us this
We
week.
love you. Thank you so much.
We do indeed.
Adios.
All right.
Louie, where are you?
Say hello, why don't you?
Hi, it's me, Michael Jackson.
What are you doing here? You're not an Avenger.
Well, yeah, I'd like to thank all the little Avengers out there who defend me Like it's that horrible documentary HBO put on.
Oh, you mean Finding Neverland and all the trolls that are out there trolling
It's called
YouTube?
Leaving Motherland.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Them boys said horrible things about me.
Well,
and I get lots of people on the internet, and they're saying nice things about me because they're ignoring all that all that non-truth that came out.
Well, I gotta say, you've got the most loyal defenders I've ever seen.
That's right, because I'm Michael Jackson.
Well, let's leave that for another day because we're here to talk about the Avengers. So maybe you need to get out of here.
Maybe I'll just beat it.
Yeah, beat it, man. Beat it. Just beat it. That was good.
I should know the words to my own song, but I don't.
Yeah.